Hi everyone, thank you very much for joining us for the second event of Queer Women's Fest. We are Last Frame Club. We're a film club based in East London, currently online, and we specialised in showcasing and highlighting the work of underrepresented communities with a special focus on women and LGBTQ plus people. We have put this festival together in collaboration with Film Feels Connected and Blue Fox Studios, so thank you very much for their support and for allowing us to put this festival together, showcasing the work of queer women all over the world. Today we have a great event that we're really looking forward to. We have selected some of our favourite queer web series, and we will be having a chat with the filmmakers afterwards. You'll watch an episode of #TMI by Ashlei Shyne, Queerious by Alexander King, As We Are by Deborah Espect, and 20 by Lily Richards. And we'll have the filmmakers and creators afterwards for a Q&A, for a discussion panel. We hope you enjoy the episodes. We have put the links for the rest of the series on the description, and we really encourage you to go and watch them because they're all amazing. And thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you very soon.
Previously on Queerious.
Listen, I apologize for not believing you. When you were telling me everything, it just felt like an outsider was attacking my family.
And here I am. I can't stop thinking about her. I love her.
I would have never expected to cheat on my wife, especially not with Kwame.
Man, Jamila's been having an affair with this woman in New York. So no, I don't feel bad for her.
Trip, I'm not hungover. I'm pregnant.
Are you fucking kidding me? We're on a break as in we're getting back together, not go fuck other people. I've been waiting for you, Jazz. And then you gonna do the one thing I can't give you?
Hey. Feel the vibe. Ooh, this feels just like summer in July.
How'd it go?
It's complicated. They've been having an affair for 6 months.
I know. I just talked to Nia, and she said Jamila's been having an affair too. Like, I don't understand. If people can't be together, they at least owe it to each other to be honest with one another so they can be happy elsewhere.
Agreed. Can we both promise each other something? Can we be honest with each other even if we think it's gonna hurt? Because I need to operate in the honest hard truth.
Yeah.
And my heart can't take what they're going through right now. This is just a product of no communication and not living in our truths.
I promise you I will always communicate with you because I love you and I care about you. And I love us in this safe space that we're creating for each other.
No.
You know, I really do appreciate the space that we share. And I want to keep honoring us by making sure that we do the work.
I love you, Sam. I love us and I want us. Look, I have an idea. Can we write down our intentions? Create a list of triggers from our past? Like things we have done in our last relationship that we want to work on. Because I really want to know you and what triggers you so I can best show for you.
Yes, I think that's so important. Yeah, let's both write them down and then maybe we can share them later today or something.
I want to be different. I want different, so I have to do different. Well, let's just head over to the Black House because I told Jazz I'll meet her there.
All right.
Let's not say anything to Jazz yet. Because it's not our business to tell. And Jazz already got a lot going on.
Eventually, she need to know.
What's up? What's wrong with you?
I told Trip.
How'd he take it?
Well, he's not here. You know what? I'm sorry. I'm just really stressed out. Like, I really want to be with Trip, but I know it's going to be hard for him to want to be in my life with a baby that we didn't plan together. And I guess I just have to give him time to process, like, really respect that. Anyway, when's your best friend getting here?
Oh, she gets here on Friday. I'm super excited. She moved to New York last year, and then she went on tour, so I really ain't been able to see her. And she's literally like my soulmate. I'm so excited y'all get to meet each other.
Soulmate? Like, how does that work? Can somebody be your soulmate and y'all not be together?
Oh, absolutely. I definitely think it takes a different type of self-awareness, though, to recognize that just because you feel like your soul is connected to someone else's doesn't mean that you need to be together. You know, love is universal. And I think we miss the opportunity to have a lot of flourishing friendships because we don't allow the space for true intimacy and love in our platonic relationships. And there's definitely room for it. To be honest, I think we just haven't done the self-work needed to distinguish between liking someone beyond a surface level, even loving them, and whether or not we should be with them. If we start to look at them individually, then we can open up the possibility for more love in our lives.
I hear that.
Well, I'm excited to meet your best friend, babe.
Me too. I think y'all really gonna get along because she's all about her business, just like you. And that's what I love about you. And you fine as hell, too.
Okay, that's enough. Get a room. Some of us are dealing with heartbreak. And this shit is triggering as fuck.
Hey. So, I think tonight's the night.
Damn, you still ain't let her smash?
No, fool. It's not like that. She's different.
You try to make love and shit. I hear you.
Yes, I actually am trying to make love because I'm in love with her ace. And I know it's not just because she had my body, because we waited. You know, sex can make you feel like you all in love with somebody when you really ain't. But a bitch knows she in love, so you know I'm finna put it down.
Well, to be honest, I hope she ain't wet, because if you waited this long and the sex is trash, that just sucks because you're already in love. Can you imagine that shit? I love you, but hate your sex. Like, how you even say that to someone? But anyways, look, I gotta go for rehearsal. I'll see you in a few days, though. Love you, kid.
All right, love you. Bye.
Picture perfect memories of me and you that first summer. Undressing insecurities and kissed them all, it's no wonder. You were discovering you, I was uncovering me. Nothing here holding us back. Tell me, what could we be? Flights and Skype to hold us over. Nights we can't just roll over. Stare into each other's eyes, talk for hours until the sunrise. I know you get lonely, and girl, I get lonely too. Love so hopeless, let's forward the motion. I'm fully devoted, cause where would we be if we had no chance at love romance, when love romance is not the plan, yeah. But where will we be? Where will we be? Where will we be? Where will we be?
Lucas.
Whenever I'm feeling lonely, it's always you that I'm calling. When it's late at night, you're all I'm wanting. don't you pick up or call me? What is it that's keeping you so busy? Forget it, I'm gonna see what it is that I'm gonna do to you. Tell me what I'm supposed to do to make it home to you. What you waiting for, babe? Come on over now, babe. From dusk till dawn, night and day. What you waiting for, babe? What you waiting for, babe? Yeah, 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 yeah. What you waiting for, babe? What you waiting for, babe? Love me, hold me. Reason I breathe is you.
I had a brother, his name was Fatso. Kids call him names, just a name that he had called himself. Speed, not a tap. I had a sister, her name was White Mary. Another one's a friend I had in another life. With freckles by her eyes. I hear voices, but I'm not crazy. Someone's told me I could change the world. In a drunken slide, yeah. I know there isn't an end.
Hey, hi. How are you? Good, thanks. Come in. Oh, can you take your shoes off? Sorry, cream carpet.
Yeah, of course, sorry.
I can't believe you still have this old thing. I could hear it from here.
Oh yeah, don't get to use it very often these days.
Kettle's just boiled. Do you want a cup of tea? I've got peppermint or green or normal.
Peppermint would be great, thanks.
Have a look around. Make yourself comfortable.
Wow.
Thanks. Quite different from Finsbury Park, eh?
Oh, apart from that, I can't believe you still have it.
Well, I fought hard enough for it, didn't I? Thank you so much for doing this. I was beginning to think I wouldn't be able to go.
Oh, no worries. I haven't come to Brighton in ages, and it'll be nice to spend some time with Bobby again. Oh, there she is! How did she get so fat?
Is she?
She's doubled in volume.
Oh, I hadn't really noticed. But I suppose if you haven't seen her for 2 years, it's probably more obvious.
So, what's the event that you're going to?
Oh, it's a leadership conference. I'm doing a couple of workshops on public speech.
That sounds very you. So, how come... what's her name?
Oh, Tamara.
How come Tamara can't look after Bobby?
Oh, she's coming with me.
Oh.
She's into that sort of thing, and we've been wanting to get away for a while, hence why I needed someone for the week.
I can't imagine anyone wanting to get away from Brighton, can you?
Have you got any friends here? Much planned?
Oh yeah, loads.
Loads of friends or loads planned?
Both.
Great. Well, you're welcome to have people over. Just don't let them wreck the place. I've left you a towel in the bathroom and I've written out some instructions for Bobby's food. She's got arthritis and kidney problems, so you have to remember to give her medication.
Since when?
Dunno, about a year now. Oh, and she still doesn't go out, so you'll need to make sure you keep the door closed and don't have the window open too much.
I know. Does she think that I've forgotten about you?
I'm going to make a move. I have to pick Tammy up. Everything's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, I'll be fine.
There's some milk and sausages and steak in the fridge that need eating.
Well, I'm still vegan, so...
Oh shit, sorry. How could I forget? Everyone's vegan here. Tammy and I are definitely anomalies.
Well, have a good week.
You too. If you could just leave the keys on the coffee table before you leave.
Oh yeah, sure, but how are you going to get in though?
Oh, Tammy's got a set.
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh, bye.
Bye.
Don't wait now, don't take long, I can't find you. I am lost with my destiny of you. I counted days, but now I'm counting years. Not losing hope, but losing fears. And he was right, we live long in their minds, but you'll live longer in mine. And he was right, we are two sides of the same coin, but was he right this time? And ooh, come back like you promised me. I'm dying every day inside. And ooh, it's not the waiting that's the death of me. It's that I miss your smile. It's that I miss your. Don't wait now, don't take long, I can't find you. I am lost with my destiny of you. Rise up, return my friend. We need a king to start again. Whoa, I need my king to start again.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Is Robin around?
No, she's gone for the week.
Right. I was wondering if I could borrow her corkscrew.
Oh, yeah, of course. Not sure where it is. Let me try and find it.
Thanks.
And I'm just going to close the door because of the cat.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Thanks. I'll bring it straight back.
Oh, no worries. Take your time.
Hiya.
Yeah, she's fine. I was just about to give her dinner. I know, I have your instructions. Oh, your neighbour just borrowed your corkscrew. I don't know, late 20s, I guess, dark hair. Really? Wow. I'm going to have to look at him more closely. Oh, your stove's not...
Thanks. After all that, I won't be needing it. I just got stood up.
Oh no.
Spent 3 hours preparing dinner.
Oh, sorry, that's crap.
Yeah, anyway, thanks. I'm Blake, by the way.
Chloe, nice to meet you. You're welcome to eat it here if you want.
Are you sure?
Yeah, oh, I was just going to watch TV.
Oh, thanks. I could do with the company. Have you eaten?
No, I was just about to.
Oh, well, there's plenty if you want it.
Oh, I'm vegan.
Oh, so am I.
Oh, great. Then, yeah, thanks. That is really rude. You don't just text someone 10 minutes before you're supposed to have dinner with them.
Well, maybe dinner was too much. It was only our 3rd date.
Well, I hate eating in front of people, so I can't really comment. I mean, not like right now, but if I was on a date. It took me a month before I could eat in front of Robin. But she should have told you when you offered to cook. That's not an excuse.
Yeah, never mind. So you went out with Robin?
Mm-hmm. 3 years. We lived together in London. We had a really nice flat in Finsbury Park, and then she cheated on me and I had to move out, and then her new girlfriend moved in, and then they broke up, and then she moved down to Brighton.
Well, it's good that you stayed friends.
I wouldn't say that we're friends.
Oh, well, you're cat sitting for her, so...
Yeah, she couldn't find anyone. She put something about it on Facebook, and Bobby used to be my cat as well, so...
Oh, well, it's really good of you to do that. Is it weird, being here?
I don't know, maybe. It was nice not to be in London, though. When we first broke up, I wanted to move down, but then she did, and I couldn't stand the thought of bumping into her everywhere.
Yeah, Brighton's a pretty small place.
And so's London, though. I'm sick of it. It's really hard to meet someone.
I'm not sure if it's any easier here.
I do have a couple of dates lined up this week.
Really?
Yeah. And if it doesn't work out, I never need to see either of them ever again, and no one ever needs to know.
Well, that is a healthy way of looking at it.
This is really good, by the way. It's gone straight to my head.
Yeah, it's really strong. I thought it might help me get lucky. Sorry. That was a joke. I wasn't going to spike a drink or anything.
Oh, that never even crossed my mind.
Good. Okay. Are you okay?
Sorry, I'm just getting really tired and, being here and...
Of course, yeah. Thank you so much for this. It was really nice.
Yeah, likewise. No, don't worry. I'll sort that out tomorrow.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Well, see you later.
Yeah. Good night.
Good night.
Bobby!
I'm scared of giving up and creepy scratches in the dark, but more than that, no more than that. I'm scared of what I won't achieve, and all the creatures that could kill me. Oh, more than that, oh, more.
Dating in LA is the worst.
So bad.
I think I'm gonna try being straight.
Congratulations, Hayden! Oh.
Anything for my work wife.
Thank you. Girl, I haven't even got this promotion.
Yet.
She didn't get the last 3.
Shut up, Rain. Lee, don't listen to them.
Dude, you look exhausted. I didn't get much sleep last night. I have so much on my mind.
Simone.
Okay, can I be honest? She did text me last night.
And what'd she say?
Oh! Okay, that was my exact same reaction.
Text her back.
Oh, no.
You're so twisted. You've been waiting 6 months for a text like that. Plus, Simone is bad. It's just wrong to keep a bad bitch waiting.
Okay, true that, but Simone is everything I've ever wanted.
No.
This is our home.
Beautiful.
We do kind of an open air vibe space here. We really like to have an area where people can feel like they're home.
She could be your future wife.
Right?
Okay, I think that y'all forgot she left me.
Who's the new girl walking in with Sharon?
We are a family. Welcome to the family. I want you to feel comfortable. I want you to get to know everybody here. It is a solid team. You're gonna have a blast. Let me introduce you to the team. Let's head up. Morning, queers.
Morning.
Sharon, who this woman?
Getting to that, Troy. Thanks. Everyone, I'd like to introduce you to our new story producer, Kelly.
Hi guys, I am super excited to work with each and every one of you. I'm a huge ally to the LGBTQ plus community, and I'm here to represent you and this beautiful, bright rainbow family.
Oh, no, she didn't.
Thank you so much, Sharon, for this opportunity. I'm eternally grateful.
Okay, namaste. Namaste, Kelly. Namaste. Welcome. Welcome. Everyone, let's give Kelly a great big welcome. Everyone.
Oh! Wall star!
Girl.
Is that vegan gluten-free?
Miss Aaliyah, we're in danger, girl. We're in danger.
Fuck that, fall in line, keep your head down, slave mentality bullshit, Lee. When Sharon bring her bitch ass back up in here, we about to let her know what's good, okay? What's
What
good?
you need is show her what's good in the most respectable way possible.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Because we need this job.
We need this job, yeah. We need this job.
What the hell was that?
I could have asked you the same thing.
Ooh, go best friend. That's my best friend.
Ally.
How dare you question my decisions? As showrunner and executive producer, let me remind you that I have 3 LGBTQ shows that are wildly successful.
With all due respect, Sharon, your shows are a success because of the writers' ideas. Not to mention all the producers I trained since you decided to promote them over me.
Oh, okay. You're not being promoted because of your inability to grow. Every pitch is bicentric.
Oh, so she hates bisexuals now? She hates bisexuals.
Wade in the water. Wade.
Everyone just calm down. Calm down. Now, Lee, this would be the perfect teaching moment to state fact and not show emotion.
Because we all know that black women who show emotion are deemed as aggressive and unprofessional.
Sharon, 99% of our content excludes bisexuals and pansexuals. We make up the largest number in the LGBTQ plus community. Bi erasure is real, and I just don't understand why you don't want to tap into this large audience.
Because I don't give a platform for part-time queerness.
Wow. All my life, I've had to fight. I've had to fight to be seen, to be loved, to be heard, to be respected. If they don't respect you, it's time to go.
I quit.
You quit? You quit. Oh, that's not how this works, honey. Are you kidding me? You don't get to quit. And furthermore, do you think I care? Do you think anyone here cares? You were nothing before you met me. I made you. You don't get to quit. You're fired. Get out. Out! The rest of you, back to work!
I travel on this road of light, but the road ain't light. Where the slang is engraved with a slaving language, and the streets are paved with the pain of slave ships. Still I submit to it, falling stiff to it. How can I never get a fit to it? I see heaven at the end, I'm trying to get to it. Scared to get lost and I admit to it, so I stick to it.
You were amazing! Thank you. Oh, God, I was so nervous. It didn't show. No? Good, okay. Well, I want you to come backstage and meet Valerie. No, I don't want to distract you two. What? No, I told her all about you. She's gonna love you. Come on. Yeah. No, Maya, the thing is, come on. Maya.
Valerie. Catalina.
Hey, Valerie.
How are you?
I've been great.
How do you two know each other? How do you two know each other?
This is my girlfriend.
That's crazy. We've dated the same girl. We have more in common than I thought.
You're on in 5?
Okay. Let's do this. It's gonna be great. So nice to see you.
It was great seeing you again.
Yeah.
Maya.
Go ahead, I'm listening, but I don't care what you say, love. Out of patience, but you can't see it in my face, love. And I can't even walk the streets alone. Ghostly, haunted everywhere I go. There are the daisies that I watched you garden before our love was sown. You are a stranger. You are a stranger in this home.
I'm so glad you're gonna be there.
Oh, I'm nervous. No, don't be.
I
You're
am.
gonna be
I'm so nervous.
I'm so proud.
to drive, you fucking asshole! Jesus. I'm sorry.
So you're just going to ignore me?
Can I?
Excuse me?
I don't want to talk about it.
Well, I do.
Okay. Okay, fine. Why didn't you tell me about Valerie, huh? I mean, did you like watching me make a fool out of myself? Did you enjoy hearing me tell you how cool she was and how awesome and well decorated her house was when clearly you already knew?
I didn't want to ruin your excitement.
Oh, well, it's too late for that now, isn't it? What, did you think I just wasn't gonna find out?
You're the one who brought me backstage. I didn't want to go.
I brought you because I didn't know. You think I would have wanted you back there if I'd known that you'd...
Why does it bother you so much?
Why?
Yeah. Why is it such a big deal? I slept with Valerie before I ever even met you, so what?
I'm not mad that you slept with her. I'm mad that you hid it from me.
It's in the past. It was another life. What, should I have just predicted that you were going to come into my world, meet my ex, and have that jumpstart your career? I'm not a psychic, Maya. And I'm sorry, but I can't go back and change what happened between me and Valerie.
What happened between you and Valerie?
Maya.
No, what? Tell me.
Maya.
Tell me, I want to know.
We were never officially together. We were just...
Fucking?
Why do you have to make it sound like that?
Because that's what it was, wasn't it? Just sex? Or was there something else and you just lied to me again?
I didn't lie to you. I was just trying...
Withholding information?
I was protecting you.
Protecting me? Oh, that's just great. You were protecting me from what exactly? From the truth? I mean, did you think it was just gonna be so fucking hard for me to find out that my girlfriend slept with Valerie? Did you think I just wouldn't be able to go on? I'd just be so intimidated by her that I wouldn't know what to do? What, do you think I'm not as impressive as her? Do you think I'm not as good as her? You think I couldn't jumpstart my own fucking career?
No, God, Maya, I didn't mean it like that.
When were you with her?
Maya.
No, when?
A few months before we met.
How many?
3, 2, I don't know. Why does it matter? It was before you came into my life.
It matters because past relationships are like puzzles, okay? You either set the puzzle to the side and pretend it doesn't exist, or you finish the fucking puzzle. You don't just leave 3 pieces out. That makes you a liar.
Don't call me a fucking liar. I'm not the one who had Liz sleeping over a month after I left.
What?
You think I didn't know? You think I didn't know you just went back to her?
I never went back to her.
Why did she come visit, huh? So you took a talk about the fucking weather? I know you slept with her.
I did not sleep with Liz. You think that I slept with Liz?
Yeah. Why wouldn't you?
For a number of reasons, one of them being that I was still in love with you.
Oh, so you're not anymore?
What?
You said was, so is it in the past tense now? Because I still love you very much despite all this bullshit.
Oh, you think me being pissed off about this is bullshit. Okay.
I came back to this country for you. Why isn't that enough?
It is enough. It's more than enough. I just wish that you'd been honest with me. I mean, I was honest with you about Sophie. I told you everything that happened in my relationship with Liz.
Did you?
I didn't sleep with her.
So nothing happened?
I didn't say that.
So something happened?
No. We kissed. Or she kissed me. And then I stopped it and I kicked her out, and after that, that was it. I had no contact with her. And the next time I saw her was with you at Hazel's party, and that's the truth, which is more than you could have given me.
Hi everyone, thank you for joining us. So you've just watched 4 web series, and the web series are available online if you want to watch them. I encourage you to go and watch them and support the filmmakers. We have the 4 creators of the web series here, so we're going to chat to them, and we also have a sign language interpreter here as well, if you're watching and you are hard of hearing or deaf. So we're going to go straight to the speakers now, and I'll let them introduce themselves.
Hi, I am Alexander King. Most of you guys know me as Lex. I am the creator, writer, producer, everything of Queerious TV.
Thank you. Deborah?
Hi, I'm Deborah Espect. I'm the writer, director, and producer of As We Are.
And Lily?
Hi, my name is Lily Richards. I'm the creator, writer, director, and I play Maya in 20.
And Ashlei?
Hi, my name is Ashlei Shyne. I am the creator, the writer, director, executive producer, and I play Aaliyah on #TMI.
Perfect. Okay, thank you. Firstly, thank you for joining us. I know there's some pretty big time differences, so I really appreciate you taking the time to speak to us. I guess we will start by you telling us a little bit more about the series that you've worked on and the process of making it and why you wanted to make it. And if we can start with Lex again.
So Queerious came about through a conversation that, we're just not represented in the film industry. And a friend of mine was on the phone and was like, yo, just write it. And I was like, all right, cool. So I literally wrote Queerious in one night, and I sent her the script the next day, and she was just like, yo, we have to shoot this. So we intended on just shooting on the iPhone, just, as a passion project, asked some friends to get along with it. And it's been a lot of support, and I was not expecting it to take off the way it's taking off. So yeah, it was a lot of just like passion project and just, putting forth the effort, and yeah, that's how Queerious kind of came about.
Perfect, thank you very much. Ashlei?
So mine was a 3-minute sketch. I don't know how it's become about 7 episodes. So I felt as though in the comedy community, BIPOCs just aren't represented as much, or we're like the butt of a joke. So as a bisexual woman that is Black, I was just like, maybe I can tell a particular story that will change the landscape of comedy, and the way that people see LGBTQ plus people, and how we just live regular individual lives, and how it can really be beneficial, especially for people like myself that have come from the Midwest that don't always get to see themselves on TV.
Thank you very much. Deborah?
So I decided to make As We Are back in 2016 after watching a number of lesbian deaths on TV and in films, and I just got really fed up of the representation that we were getting in popular fiction. And I really wanted to write about authentic characters in the LGBTQ plus community, and stories that didn't just revolve around character coming out, because in a lot of popular fiction, at the time at least, a lot of the storylines were about the character coming out, and then when the characters come out, it seemed that the writers didn't really know what to do with the character, which is why then usually the character was killed off or moved away or whatever. So I wanted to write something a little bit different, and I also wanted, because I'm based in Brighton, I've been in Brighton for 8 years in the UK, which is the southeast coast of the UK, and it's a really quirky place. It's a bit like San Francisco, I think, in the US. It's a bubble for us queer people, so I really wanted to pay tribute to my city. And the reason why I made a web series as opposed to a short film is actually watching a web series at the time called Her Story, which is brilliant. And if you haven't seen it, please watch it. It's amazing. And it inspired me to make my own web series. I'd never directed or produced anything before. I'd written stuff, but I'd always given it to someone else to direct or produce, but I couldn't find the right director for it, and I also couldn't afford to pay a director. So I decided to do it all myself, really. And the way that I've made it work is because I surrounded myself with people who knew what they were doing, because I felt that I had no idea what I was doing. So I surrounded myself with people who were great at their jobs, and that's how I managed to make it happen.
Thank you very much. And Lily?
Yeah, so it came about similar to everyone else's story. I was frustrated with, the lack of representation that queer women were getting in media, and the representation I was seeing, I wasn't satisfied with. I graduated from college in 2016, and so I grew up in LA. I just moved back home to LA, and me and a lot of my friends from college were out here, auditioning, doing the grind, and I was like, I think if we want to work, we need to make work for ourselves. So that's sort of how 20 came about. I was like, if I want to have the opportunity to play authentic queer roles, and if I want that for my friends, like, I'm going to make it happen. And so it was very much a collaborative process. A lot of season 1, we improvised, and we would just roll. We would have 2 cameras rolling, and then we would just be like, great, I think we got it. I think we figured it out in there somewhere. So that's how 20 came about. I just got my friends together, and I said, like, let's make something that, we can feel proud of and that we feel represents us and our community.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so firstly, thank you for sharing the series with us. I love them all individually in their own way. Like, I think they're really great examples of how diverse and different the queer community is. And yeah, so thank you for making them. One thing I wanted to ask you all about is the host often being YouTube. And obviously that makes sense because it's a free, highly accessible platform that has a global reach. So I understand why creators are using it. But obviously with YouTube, as well with any other social media, it's quite vulnerable. It's easy for people to post negative comments, and we live in that kind of world of don't read the comments. And I wondered if you had any thoughts about what YouTube or these platforms could be doing to protect the queer community.
I'm gonna start. I think for me, I think we just need our own platform. Eventually, Queerious will no longer be on YouTube, just for the fact that we do get flagged often. A lot of times, like we had this one intense spiritual scene and it got flagged. So it's like, okay, do I take the video down? Do I not? I don't want them to have control, and not just YouTube, but I don't want anyone to have control of the content that I want to create. So for me, we will be moving to just Queerious.com. And that's going to be where I can put out what I want to put out, how I want to do it. I don't want to have anyone else's, insight or what I can and cannot post, because just another way for them to represent us the way that they want to. And I'm not for it. But I appreciate YouTube. Don't get me wrong. Just seeing the first season, I'm like, it's time to move over.
Yeah, and when you say flagged, what do you mean by flagged exactly?
So the scene that everyone just saw right now, we have a very spiritual connection, the first sexual encounter with Sam and Bisa. And it's not highly sexualized because that wasn't, the image I wanted to portray. Like, there is a huge fetish around lesbian sex, and I wanted to portray what it's like for me and not what it's like for for people who are seeking it. And we got flagged immediately. It was very, very quickly. I thought it was beautifully shot. I thought I did a phenomenal job directing it. And to get the flag, it was like, okay, it kind of, I felt some type of way, but I wasn't going to take it down. I'd rather just get the mark that they give you, because you get like 3 chances of flag content or something, then you're off of YouTube, or it's like weird rules. But I don't, I left it up because it's one of my favorite episodes. But yeah, I'd rather just, kind of do our own thing at our own time when we want to do it, how we want to do it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I I would love to go off of what Lex just said, because we have had similar experiences with 20. Obviously, I think the plus side of putting any sort of content on YouTube is, like you said, you have an international audience. And for us, that's been really key. With 20, some of our largest audiences are based in like India and Brazil and Pakistan and France. So for us to reach those audiences, like YouTube was really the only way possible. Having said that, season 1, episode 5, I believe, and it's similar. It's the first like sexual encounter between Maya and Catalina, and that episode, as soon as right when we were about to hit 1 million views on that episode, it was flagged as 18 and over, which is really inappropriate, especially if you watch the episode. It's just absolutely ridiculous. There's nothing in that episode that should make it that. And so we reached out to YouTube, we fought it, and their response when we messaged them was, although we don't think that this is inappropriate, certain people in some places may find this content like upsetting. It's like, oh, okay. So just to me, the fact that they are willing to cater towards bigotry versus, inclusivity and trying to fix the picture was frustrating. Having said that, I think what's great about YouTube is it does give you the opportunity to, albeit a small amount, receive monetization and get a little bit of money that for us has been, helpful in trying to recoup some of the costs that come with independent filmmaking. So that was why we decided to move forward, and our audience, our whole fan base is on YouTube. So for us, it was like, okay, we are definitely going to do season 2 on YouTube. But moving forward into season 3, we are definitely evaluating our options and trying to figure out where else we could see 20. I think that one of the issues with, because there was a lot of awesome queer like VOD platforms that I've seen starting up. But the problem is, like, in order to create content and in order to have content on your site, like, the filmmakers need to be making money, and the people who are creating those subscription services need to be making money. And so it's finding a way that we can, band together in such a way that we can all receive the financial, support that we need to have these platforms up and going, and to have these platforms have the access that YouTube has. So.
Okay, thank you.
I've had a sort of not too similar experience, but one of my short films, which all my stuff is on YouTube and is on YouTube and on queer platforms as well. But one of my short films, the thumbnail for it, because I thought it'd be a good selling point, is 2 women in bed. And I've had to delete quite a few comments from disgruntled straight men who just assumed that the film would be 2 women in bed, but the story behind it is actually it's a parody of the dead lesbian trope. So it's about what I've talked about before, about lesbian characters being killed off on TV. And I've had loads of dislikes because of it. Is it dislikes or unlike? The thumbs down. I've had the thumbs down basically from a lot of people. Yeah, thumbs down because of that, because a lot of people thought they were going to watch basically lesbian porn, which is not at all. So that's annoying. But I think, and we've got some really brilliant queer platforms in the UK, like Queerbee and Netflix, and in the US I know you have Teller and Reverie, and I don't know, there might be others as well. And I think it's really important to have these platforms. But I think on the plus side with YouTube is the fact that you're reaching out to so many people. And I feel like maybe by having our queer content just on queer platforms means that people who are not part of our community will never get to see our stories. And how will we manage to educate people if they don't actually see us? So that's why I want to keep my stuff on YouTube. But as you said, you're making yourself really vulnerable by having your stuff judged by other people who might not understand it. But I'd like to still keep the positive of just reaching out to the wider audience by being on YouTube still.
Okay, thank you very much. Ashlei, did you want to add to this, or?
Well, I'm at all. Just because of the controversy, I decided to go the film festival route and then explore my options after that.
Okay, Perfect, no problem. Thank you very much. Okay, so to follow on from that, Lily, you mentioned as well about money, and it's never ideal to talk about money when we're talking about passion projects, but also money is money, and we have to pay bills, and we have to live. And do you think by making this content so accessible on platforms like YouTube that we're pigeonholing ourselves into a world where people expect content for free? And how do we make money essentially from this content?
I think that's a really good question. I think it's hard because in so many ways that is, as queer creators, that is sort of like in a lot of ways how you have to just start if people aren't going to, if larger companies aren't going to put their money behind your story, you just have to make it and prove them wrong and prove to them, this is something that is worth being seen and this is worth being funded. So I think that there is definitely a concern there, but I think that it's more of a means to an end versus everything I do from now on will be on YouTube. So after season 1 and 2, we took a break because we were like, well, we don't want to just be on YouTube forever. I have other stories and other scripts and films that we, are trying to figure out where to put those. But during that break, we were put in contact with some really awesome women who'd started a production company in Spain, and they're part in Spain, part in the US, part in France, part in Beirut. They're all over. And they we got along really well with them. They're wonderful people, and they've agreed to fund season 3 of 20, which is awesome. But it has also sparked a lot of discussion as to whether or not we're going to keep it on YouTube or if we're going to try to find a way to put it somewhere bigger so that we can, have some sort of return on that investment. I think at this point, getting as much content as we can on YouTube is good in some ways because it does, allow us to. Sorry, there was like a weird ringing in my ear just then from one of these headphones, and it's like totally lost my train of thought. Okay. I'm so sorry. I was like, "What's happening?" I'm about to pass out. But I think that what's good about it is it'll hopefully show people who aren't just within the queer community, like what you were saying about like seeing our stories for a wider audience and having people look at it and say, okay, this is something that clearly there is a huge underserved market here. So hopefully more and more companies will see that and want to take our content off of YouTube and turn it into something bigger.
Yeah. Thank you. Lex, did you want to perhaps add to this? Because you obviously have great news that you are moving on to Amazon Prime. Does that mean that it will be taken off YouTube?
Yeah. So I'm going to, as of now, I'm going to leave season 1 on YouTube. Without YouTube, we wouldn't be where we are. And that's just the honest truth. But I'm at the point where I'm waiting for the same thing, waiting for that investor, waiting for someone to say, hey, look, we believe in your product. Let's get you some more money so that you actually can film other things. I have scripts for days. I have ideas for days. But I forgot where my train of thought was just going. Literally just lost it like that. But yeah, anyway, so we're waiting for the funding right now. Like season 1 was completely shot with $0. Everyone who was a part of it, from location to acting, was everyone just, wanted to be a part of the vision and believed that we can create something that, they read the script and was like, I want in. And I know, having that in season 1 with no budget, I know that where we're going, we can go even further, with a little more of the finances and all that. So that's why I'm actually going to keep it on YouTube.
Okay. Yeah.
Season 1.
Thank you. Deborah or Ashley, did you want to add anything to the money thoughts?
I've always actually just spent my own money on my project, so I'm definitely not the right person to ask.
Same, Deborah. I've spent all of my, I think, savings on this project.
That's okay. That's good. Okay. Let me just keep an eye on the time. So I actually wanted to ask you a couple of individual questions about your own shows. So I'm going to start with Deborah. And I actually wanted to start by asking the research project, the research behind your project. if you haven't seen As We Are, it's about Chloe, who is a lesbian who goes to look after her ex-girlfriend's cat, which is a totally believable storyline that probably most of us can relate to. And she meets a trans man who she develops feelings for that she is unsure of. And I'd love to hear more about your research process for that, please.
Yeah, I actually kind of decided to explore my own confusion that I had at some point in the past about that. I mean, what Chloe goes through in As We Are is a little bit like what I was imagining myself going through if the situation that she was in had happened in real life. So Chloe's character, yeah, I kind of just explored my own thoughts on it. And then when it comes to Blake, I contacted a well-known trans activist called Fox Fisher, who is fantastic. And we discussed his character together. We built his character together, notably in the last episode. I won't reveal too much, but there is a conversation between Chloe and Blake, their character, where I had a lot of Fox and their partner Al's input into it to obviously make the character genuine and authentic, because obviously, you know, writing a web series with a character who has a trans experience, you know, you really shouldn't be doing that without actually talking to a person with a trans experience. So their feedback and their input was invaluable. And yeah, hopefully, yeah, well, it has given Blake that authenticity that I wouldn't have been able to do by myself alone.
Thank you very much. Yeah, and Ashlei, also I wanted to ask you about the focus of your web series, #TMI, which there's a line in it that really made me laugh, which is from Sharon, who refers to bisexuals as part-time queers. And the reason it made me laugh is because I've literally heard this before, and I've heard it from fellow lesbians, and sometimes I think the queer community is more judgmental of bisexuals than straight people. And I wondered what you thought about queer representation of bisexuals on screen and what we can do better.
Well, I said that line because I have gone to so many festivals over the years. I came out a little bit later on in life, in my late 20s, and so I struggled with trying to see myself in any of these films or television shows. And when I did see a bisexual character, they were always being ridiculed, or maybe they were always cheating on someone. And when I was coming out, dating was just horrific because people were just so mean about being bisexual. So I happened to be in the community for a while. I was in charge of one of the creators that created the world's first city-sponsored bi pride in West Hollywood. And so after that, my second year, I decided that I was going to actually do a web series and really highlight what it's like for a Black woman trying to just be one with her sexuality and be okay with being bisexual, but also seeing how other people treat her, how her family treats her, how her friends identify. It's not, I'm not doing a lot of explaining like most people do. I just let these characters be, and then we're just in situations where you have to really come to terms with, why do you feel that certain way? Why do you think bisexuality is part-time or doesn't exist? Because bi, pan, and fluid people really do. And I think it's time for them to have a platform to really tell
a story authentically. I mean, I have to thank Lex because she gave a platform for bisexual men in her series, and you don't see it. For me, it comes later when my character actually starts dating someone who is bisexual as well. And I'm just grateful that, Lex was also so inclusive. So I think other filmmakers are starting to do that, and hopefully it'll translate to the mainstream.
Okay, thank you very much, Ashlei.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Lex, I wanted to ask you about a reoccurring theme in Queerious, which is a safe space, and it's something that Sam refers to quite often. And I wondered what a safe space meant to you and why it was so important to include it in the series.
Safe space is literally space for you to be human. That's it. We go through a lot of things in our lives that we're supposed to, they want us to feel ashamed about it. They want us to feel guilty, but it's like, Jazz plays a big part in that safe space because, she has to be vulnerable, with herself. It's like, okay, I met a woman, I've been with this woman, the woman then transitioned. So now do I like men? Do I like, now, she's inquiring on that. Then she ends up having a one night stand. She figures out she doesn't like it, but now she has a baby. So it's like all these things that you can really hurt someone really, really bad when you don't hold space properly for them. When you're holding space, it's not about your opinion. It's about that person and what they need from you. So for example, when I'm with my friends and I'm holding space, I'm like, I don't give them stories about myself. Okay. I'm going to listen. Like, what do you need me to do? Can I touch you? Can I give you a hug? What's the next step? And I focus in on the negative thoughts that they might have, as opposed to like, girl, it's gonna be okay. Don't worry about it. God's got you. No, it's more about figuring out, having space to figure out who you are without feeling judged. You feel like you have to sugarcoat anything. Just be very direct. Like, I dated this person and made me feel like this. Does that mean I'm this type of person? No. So that to me is huge, and that's why Sam is a crucial part of Queerious, because Sam really is that friend that challenges. It's like, no, something's not right, and I'm going to keep challenging it because we have to figure these things out. And it's like, it's okay to be human. It's okay to have these crazy thoughts. It's okay to question yourself, and to have people around you to do that. It gets you closer to you being yourself. A lot of times we have friends and they're yes mans and like, oh, don't worry about it, you got it. And in reality, it's like sometimes I want to just pour my gut out and be able to walk away like, oh shit, that felt good.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Okay, and Lily, I wanted to ask you, in 20, Maya is quite young. I think she's in her early 20s, obviously. And she seems to have already figured herself out, and her sexuality is quite clear to her. And that's not really part of the show. She's not trying to figure anything out or figure her sexuality out. And I wondered what your decision to take that route was.
Yeah, I think with 20, it was more just, Maya is in many ways like a reflection of myself. Obviously not exactly me, but I came out pretty early. I knew that I wasn't straight and that I was queer in some capacity by the time I was like 12. So I was pretty early on the coming out train. My first girlfriend was when I was like 14. And so for me, I just didn't, starting Maya off where she was in her 20s was very much where I was as well. Like coming out and knowing myself and my sexuality wasn't really part of the story. It was more just seeing queer women going about their day-to-day life authentically was kind of more my concern. So.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so I wanted to ask you a few questions each about the process of making a web series and writing queer characters, believable, relatable queer characters. So it would be great to know more of the process of, let's start with casting. How do you cast a web series that is predominantly queer characters and with no budget or limited budget? And I don't mind who wants to speak first. If anyone, Ashley wants to volunteer. Perfect. Thank you.
So I'm all about networking across the board. Just think about who's in your inner circle. Do I come from a world where there's a lot of actors I know? Yes, I did. But also, I'm a part of the Upright Citizens Brigade, which is a comedy school here in Los Angeles. And so I posted on the diversity board and I said, hey, I'm looking for this. I need this. And I have this type of budget. And that's how everything sort of came to be. If I didn't have access or didn't know someone, I asked, and quickly you'll get responses. And I just made sure that what I did learn is that it's great to give people who are great actors that aren't always seen. Like for me, I had a lot of people with disabilities. You wouldn't know it. They just were in it in the series and acted amazingly. But I wanted to make sure that when we talk about diversity, like everyone is uplifted and accounted for. And so I just made sure that we kept the morale very strong, but a lot of people that were part of this project just really wanted to help elevate the voices of people whose stories aren't told as often.
Great, thank you. Anyone else?
I can go.
Go ahead.
Go
You
ahead.
can go.
Go ahead. You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll be quick. Similar to Ashley, I just looked through who was in my inner circle, and so 20 was pretty much exclusively friends I went to college with that I cast, and it was people that I knew. A lot of the roles I kind of wrote with. Actually, every role I wrote with the friend playing the role in mind. That way I know it's like, I know you can play this. I know that this pertains to you personally, that you understand this community on a personal level. And that's that. Yeah. And so that was sort of just how I went about with that project in particular.
For Queerious, I basically just like wrote it in the night and was like, okay, I'm gonna shoot it on my iPhone and I'm gonna, hit up some people I know. It's like some people were just like Instagram followers, and then some were like close friends. And I was like, hey, passion project, you're interested? And they're like, yeah, sure. And that's literally how it started. The only person that was referred to me was Rex, who plays Bisa, because her original character, we couldn't use her. And then we had to get her out. So then Bisa came in, and then another character was out. And then I was like, damn, now I have to act. I don't act. So it was a lot. And everyone in there, like only a few people actually take acting classes. Everyone else just kind of was like, yeah, I want to try it. Give it a try. We're in LA. This is what people come here to do. So for me, it's amazing to see the progress from episode 1 to the last episode. And everyone, even our Jess, who does cinematographer, she hit me up like, yo, I saw that you're going to film something. Let me get in. I said, come on in, so everything just kind of happened organically. And I would not ask for a better team, man. Everyone's been so supportive. Like when we first did our first table read, everyone was so into it and laughing. And I'm literally looking like, wait, you guys like this? So yeah, it was fun. But season 2, I have a better idea of what it's actually like to cast. So that's pretty cool is, see people read the lines back, I can actually choose, do I want to go this route or this route? I like that it was organic at first, and now I like that I have the knowledge to know what it is actually like to cast.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, kind of similar experience. So as we are, because it was the first project that I'd ever directed, I'd never really auditioned anyone, and I think I was a little bit scared of auditions. So I cast people that I've worked with before. Jenny, who plays the main character, she'd been in a play that I'd done in London maybe like 10 years before, and I would just cast her in anything because she's absolutely amazing. And yeah, the other ones as well were similarly friends who had either trained, who were screen actors or theatre actors. But an observation I have actually is it feels a lot easier these days to cast actors who are part of our queer communities than it would have been 10, 15 years ago, because at the time, even possibly more recently, a lot of actors are scared to come out because obviously, they would, a lot of the time, that would mean they would be out of a job, which obviously is really sad. But now it's so much easier. So it's actually a really exciting time, I think, for us queer filmmakers to be able to cast people from our community to play our roles.
Thank you very much, Deborah. Ali, I just wanted to check where we were with time. I think we're kind of approaching the end of, so 10 minutes. Okay. Do we have 10 minutes, Ali? Is that okay for you?
Yeah, I can do another 10 minutes.
Yeah? Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay, I will stick to the more general questions because otherwise I'm never going to finish and I have loads of questions for everyone. So I'll stick with the general questions. And I wondered if you could maybe give some tips or recommendations on how to write believable queer characters and what you think is still lacking in mainstream film or television that represents you or yourself.
I'll start. I would say to just write about some of your experiences. A lot of the stuff in Queerious are based upon my experiences or experience I've had through a friend. And the stuff that I really did not know about, like I can still be educated on so many things. The trans world is a whole nother thing that I have to seek information. And that was important because I had a conversation with someone about being in a trans relationship. Like, what would you do if your partner wanted to transition? I was like, oh shit, what would I do? And that's how jazz came about. So it was a lot. I was like, well, I think I would feel like this. And I wonder if I feel like this. And I would have, I had Drew who plays Trip. And I'm like, okay, Drew, sorry if I'm being offensive, but I really want to know. And he's like, yeah, my partner went through those things. She questioned all these things. And now, they just brought a beautiful baby into the world and they got through it. But it was like a lot of conversation. So my suggestion is just literally write based upon your experiences and how you want to be portrayed. I'm sick of seeing queer women of color that are more masculine being represented as these overly aggressive, want to fight guys, want to compete with the guys, and want to do all this. When in reality, I'm like, I don't do that. I can care less. So for me, that was very important to write in, the proper representation of, we go through all these other things, but you guys are so focused on our relationship with men and how we're portrayed by men. I didn't like that. So that's how I did my writing.
Thank you. Ashlei?
So my suggestion for writing is to piggyback off of Lex, is definitely write from your experiences, and don't be afraid to, tell your story. I have spent a lot of time writing sketches, and so I have to tell stories very quickly, which has helped with a smaller platform as far as a web series goes, so that you understand what is the story, what is my objective, what am I trying to get out really quickly. Yes, those are and then what I want to see with mainstream media is just more diversity and inclusion. And I think these are such great series that are on this panel just right now, that you should hire us, put us in the writer room, have us direct. If you really want for us to be included, we should also have a seat at the table.
Absolutely.
Deborah?
I totally agree with what Ashlei and Alexa said. I think, look for an authenticity in your writing, and as I was saying at the beginning, for instance, if you have a character in your writing who, I don't know, for instance, is trans, then talk to someone who has a trans experience to get their experience, because this is, I guess I was a bit possibly arrogant or ignorant, at least when I started writing as we are, thinking that I could actually write a script about Blake being trans, and not actually realizing that my thoughts on his character would would actually be really, you know, authentic and genuine. But I think, yeah, going back to what you were saying, Ashley, in the UK, mainstream, especially on TV, there's usually the same people who write stuff all the time on TV. And I think it's getting better now in terms of inclusivity, but it has been really difficult to have our characters portrayed realistically because the people writing had no idea about who we were. But yeah, I think it is getting a little bit better because they're starting to realize that actually, you know, our voices matter.
Thank you. And yeah.
Yeah, no, I think everyone has said it perfectly. Write what you know, and if you don't know, don't be afraid to ask if it's a friend and someone that you know can have an honest conversation with. A lot of the scenes that same kind of thing where like a lot of 20 was based on real life experiences, both for me and for my friends in the show. And if any of them we'd be at dinner or something and talking about something weird or bizarre that happened to them. And I'd be like, let's put it in the episode. Like, let's just improv that scene exactly how that just happened to you. Like, let's put it in. And I think that really helped to bring about a level of spontaneity and authenticity in the seasons as well, because, you know, you only know as far as your own perspective. So, you know, write what you know and then ask if you're unsure. But yeah, so I think, I mean, episode 1 of 20 was that actually happened to me, and that's kind of what started the whole thing. I was like, this is so not funny, but also really funny. And I was like, I feel like I just I know so many queer women who've had this experience. Like, this needs to be shown. And so that's sort of just what's snowballed the whole thing.
Thank you very much. Okay, so for my last question before we wrap up, is there a queer character or queer creator that you feel particularly related to or fond of, or someone that has inspired your work?
I'll go ahead and start this one off. Growing up, I did not see a lot of, I think all of us can agree, there was not a lot of mainstream queer representation. And so for me, Santana on Glee was like the ultimate, and just everything about her. I loved that she just was sassy. She didn't take, I don't know if I'm allowed to curse, but you know, she didn't take anything from anybody. She was who she was, and she was just a badass. And so that character really inspired me. I really related to her. I think Naya Rivera's portrayal was like immaculate, of a role with a script that sometimes was not most of the time was not good, and she just made so much out of that character. And so that's one that I think I didn't even realize how much of an impact that character had on me until this year with her passing. I think it really like all kind of started flooding back and came back to me. And so that's a character on a show that really did make a huge world of difference for me.
Thank you. Yeah, Ashley?
For me, I think Desiree Akavan has been extremely just beautiful in creating bi visibility. I remember meeting her at the bisexual screening that she was having in West Hollywood, and I remember her saying distinctively that she can't be the only one. And that sparked a fire in me to be like, yeah, you shouldn't be just sitting out here the only one telling bisexual stories. And so that's what made me just have the courage to just be like, I'm doing this for my younger self who never saw herself. And maybe that'll inspire other people just to come forward and tell their own stories. But there is a list of amazing people that have just helped me just kind of discover myself as an artist. People that are on this panel today, they've come before me, and because of the success of their shows, I'm able to be just here on this panel. So I want to thank all of you, because without having those people open those doors, I wouldn't be here.
Thank you. Lex?
For me, growing up, I couldn't pinpoint a name. But in my later, like when I, said to myself, like, whoa, I think you want to write film. For me, Ava DuVernay and Lena Waithe have been influential in the Black culture. And Lena right now, what she's doing mainstream is she's definitely bringing that awareness of people like me. And that's been, I've watched her stuff. I think she's great. 20s, her show 20s is phenomenal. It's funny. It's a better representation of, this first masculine woman that has this lead role. That's very, very inspiring. But yeah, when I was younger, I wasn't into watching a lot of things because I couldn't relate. So I just didn't watch a lot of TV. I watched, a lot of Black movies, my family did. And then, I just would be outside all day. So I didn't really have that connection when I was younger to that many people.
Thank you. And Deborah?
For me, similarly to Lily, it was a fictional character, and I'm going to show my age now. It was Willow from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I don't know if you guys have seen it. Yeah, I mean a lesbian witch, amazing. So yeah, she awoke my queerness, but then obviously, I mean the death of Tara broke my heart, and I will never get over this. And in fact, actually, that death is referenced in one of my films, the film I was talking about before, with the two women in bed, the parody of the dead lesbian trope, which actually you're showing in the festival. But yeah, you are. Yeah. So, but the creators redeemed themselves a little bit later on with her storyline with Kennedy. But she wasn't Tara, so it was never the same after that.
It was never the same. Okay, perfect. I think we've probably used up the 45 minutes, have we? Yeah? Okay. So we're going to wrap up now. I still have lots and lots of questions, but I have to let you go and live your lives. So firstly, thank you very much for joining us today. It's been really interesting to chat to you, and thank you for sharing your work with us. It's incredible. And I think I speak for myself, obviously, and Natalia and other queers of my age, that it would have been so helpful to have access to this content when we're teenagers or sitting at home watching stuff on TV, to have people that we felt like we related to. So I think it's really important what you're all doing. And yeah, so to everyone who's watched the panel, thank you very much for joining us. I hope you found it interesting. Please do watch the web series in total. You will not be disappointed. Ashlei's will be harder to find for the meantime, I believe, but when it is released, you'll be able to watch it as well. So the full programme of films is available until Sunday, so please do watch them. They'll be available online on our website until midnight on Sunday UK time, so please do watch them. And thank you for joining us. Thanks.